Welcome to part two of our election coverage. It is now about 10 minutes to midnight, November the 8th, 2016, election day, and the Dow is down more than 700 points. I pulled up the weekly chart because the title of this video is the 700 Club. You need to understand a few things about the Dow being down 700 points. It is extremely significant. I cannot stress this enough. Our first visit to 700 occurred back in early 2000. It was a precursor to the popping of the NASDAQ bubble in the tech sector. The Dow was down 700 points on an intraday basis, which was the biggest intraday basis drop for the Dow. It was an all-time drop. It was bigger than what happened in 87. It was the largest drop since 87. They were comparing that drop at the time to what happened during the crash of 29. Furthermore, that was the first seven. The second seven occurred during the 2008 financial crisis, where after the closing bell, the Dow dropped, the Dow futures dropped, and taking the Dow cash index with it, dropped more than 700 points after the closing bell. Several minutes after the closing bell, it dropped more than 700 points. So that's your second seven, 7-7. The third seven is coming today, I should say tonight, as the Dow is down now 760 points as I'm doing this video. So we have 777. Now that's three sevens, three incidents of 700. Each one of those incidents of dropping 700 led to a precursor of a larger scale move. The first 700 drop in 2000 led to the catastrophic bursting of the NASDAQ bubble. The second drop of 700 led to the 2009 lows, all-time lows for the financial crisis before the market turned again afterwards. And then the third 700 is now and yet to be seen. Are we going to see a turning point or the beginning stages of a bear market like I talked about? It's still too early to say because you still have, as you can see here, some Kumo cloudage, okay, that we haven't even gotten to yet. We need to close below that cloud and start that downtrend. All right. You can now say that the top is in from that 18,600 level. All right. So we're in a corrective phase now because we're below the trend line support. All right. Still in an overall long-term bullish makeup still, regardless of this, because you still have this key support back here. So you still got some ways you can go with this. It's still too early to tell. This is still an extraordinary move, and believe it or not, this on the weekly chart is now technical damage. We now have technical damage on the chart. All right, we can't ignore this. This is a weekly chart, and we have dropped below trend line support. Yes, the market is oversold on, as it is right now. But are we going to lock in and are we going to continue to trend lower? Hard to tell. We just trade what we see. So the opening tomorrow morning is going to be rather interesting, depending and determining what happens tonight. If we even get answers tonight, we still don't know yet. Okay, the Dow, as you know, has gotten worse, down 771 points. It's just, it's terrible right now. The NASDAQ down 243 points. I do not believe I've ever seen the NASDAQ down this much. I can't recall seeing the NASDAQ futures down 200 points since the 90s. When the 90s were in existence, yes. In the 90s, absolutely. 200 points was nothing. The average daily swing in the NASDAQ back then was 200 points. So we are now, the reason I'm making this video, because we've gone back to 1999, 2000 all over again. And this reason for this is because they've turned off the circuit breakers. They warned you that they were going to do this when I read to you those emails and the prior videos, remember? Showing them, telling you about what they were doing in the Forex side of things. Well, look at this. Here's the Dow now, down 788 points, almost down 800 points. Here's your NASDAQ futures down 243.75. Here's your S&P down 107. Okay, let's talk about the S&P. The S&P 100 point interval was also visited back in 99 and early 2000. You would see these moves here. This is kind of what it looked like for those of you who weren't around then. This is what the market looked like when the Fed would lower interest rates in between meetings without a warning, and it would shock the market. The S&P would move 100 points like this. The Dow would move like this 700 points, but the NASDAQ would also move 700 points too, and it would do it within a matter of seconds. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that, seconds. If I was to average it out, all the times that there was shocks in the market back then, it took an average of 2 minutes for prices to do this, and I'm not kidding. I'm being serious. All right, look at your Nikkei now, down over 1,000 points. Yes, 1,070 points the Nikkei is down. Look at your dollar. Your dollar is down almost 2 cents. That's 170 points. 171. That's amazing. You fell from 98.12 to 96.01. I don't think I've seen a move like this in quite a while for the dollar. It should also be noted that now Bitcoin has pulled away and decoupled from the US dollar right as of right now. Bitcoin is like $720 right now, and it's pulled away. It's pulled away and decoupled. Your crude oil, your petrodollars are down a $1.55. All right. Now let's look at your gold. Gold is up $55.70. Silver is up 50 cents. 1330 is the last trade. 1887 for silver. So we're having massive movements in the markets. They've turned off the circuit breakers to allow this to happen. If the circuit breakers were on, the Dow would have been curbed when it dropped down 300 points. The NASDAQ would have been curbed at 65 points. Likewise, the S&P would have been curbed at 65 points. They've turned off the circuit breaker, so there is no curbs and there is no trade halt or any of that stuff going on right now. They're just letting it fall and get worse. Now, here it is, down almost 800 points. You saw that, 791. These are live futures trades. These are live, I'm sorry, not trades. These are live futures quotes. All right, so it's not delayed. This is live. You're looking at live futures quotes. Here are the ticker symbols right here off to the left. You can see the contract months. We're in the December contracts on the stock indexes futures. And here's the crude oil December, the US dollar December contract. It's all right here. Gold is December, silver is December, everything's December. So it's right here in your face, so you can see it, and it's in real time. So this is before the fact. So who knows if the carnage is going to continue or not. I just wanted you all to see this and understand what's happening, and just to give you play-by-play and what you could possibly expect tomorrow. I would expect that JNUG and Nugget would just be ballistic tomorrow, gangbusters. UGLD, USLV. If you guys are long that, you're going to want to move your stops and take, so you lock in as much profit as you can before this thing turns. If you get a chance, if something crazy doesn't happen tonight. All right, but the markets right now are factoring in a Trump victory, just so you know that. All right, so remember, bulls make money, bears make money, but pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can, give nothing back. Peace.